Hi hoteliers, what if I tell you that you can directly sync your hotel bookings and check them without even opening your system? We have just the right module for you here. QloApps Google Calendar Sync module. Hi, I'm Ashish and today we'll discuss how we can go ahead and install this wonderful add-on and further configure it so that you can check your online hotel bookings directly onto your Google Calendar. This module will directly connect your hotel booking website on your Google Calendar. By using this module, you can directly check which room type is booked, the check-in date and the checkout date of that particular booking for that particular date. And all of this will be available on your Google Calendar interface. Installing any module is very easy on QloApps. Let's see how we can install this module. To install this module, we have to go to Modules and Services and Manage Modules. Once we click on Manage Modules, we have to go ahead and click on Add a new module. Choose the file for the zip file. Click on Choose a file for the zip folder. Select the zip folder and click on Upload. Now as you can see, we have successfully uploaded Sync QloApps Booking to Google Calendar module. Now let's go ahead and further configure it. To further configure the module, click on Configure. And here we'll have all the necessary details that we need to enter in order to configure this module. First, we need to have the Google API credentials for the Google Calendar, and from that credentials we need to extract Google Client ID and Google Client Secret Key. After entering these two details, we'll move ahead. The next option is for Google Calendar Sync settings. Both of these settings will allow us to manually manage what kind of bookings that we need to create for the rooms or for the room types. The first option is for the Create Calendar for room types. This will allow you to specifically create bookings on the basis of the room types. Create Calendar for rooms. Here, according to your room number and number of rooms available for your hotel, the calendar will have the specific options. The third option, which says Delete Created Room Calendar. This will enable if you want to delete the calendar created for the room at the end of the Google Calendar. Once all of those details has been filled in and selected, then we'll have to go ahead and click on Sync with Google Calendar. This button will finally allow and sync all the relevant bookings directly to your Google Calendar. Now let's see how we can get the Google Calendar API credentials. To get the Google Calendar API credentials, first we need to create an account on Google Clouds. Once we have successfully created the account on Google Clouds, once we have successfully created the account on our Google Clouds, this is how the dashboard will look like. The first step we need to take is create a new project, enter the project name and enter the location and click on Create. This will create a new project for your Google Calendar API sync. As you can see, we have successfully created a project. Next, we'll go to the navigation menu and go to APIs and Services. Under the APIs and Services, we'll go ahead and click on Credentials. Once we reach on to the Credentials part, we'll click on Create Credentials. And here, we'll select the option for Zero Auth Client ID. Once we are onto this screen, we'll go ahead and click on Configure Consent screen. Here, we'll select External and click on Create. Next, we need to enter the application information that we are going to ahead. Next, we have to enter the app information that we are going to create. Let me quickly enter the details. Here we can upload the logo if we have any for our application. Once we have entered all the relevant details for our application, we'll click on Save and Continue. Next, we move ahead with the scope screen. Here, we do not have to enter anything and just simply click on Save and Continue. Similarly, on the test user screens as well, Save and Continue. Here, we have the summary for all the relevant details that we have entered. Confirm them once and click on Back to the dashboard. Once we have clicked on Back to the dashboard, we'll have to go ahead and click on Credentials. Once we click on Go Back to the dashboard, we have to go ahead and click on Credentials. Once we reach to the Credentials part, here you can see we have already created a Zero Auth 2.0 client ID. The client ID name is Web Client 1. By using this Web Client ID 1, by using this Zero Auth 2.0 client ID, we can get the secret key and the Google ID. To get the secret key and the Google ID, click on Download Zero Auth Client. Here, as you can see, we have the client ID and the client secret ID as well. Just simply copy this. Just simply copy this one and paste it into the relevant fields. Click on Save. Once those are done, click on Save. And then coming down to the Google Client syncing, we'll just simply have to click on Sync with Google Calendar. Once we'll click on this button, all the bookings on our QloApps app will directly be synced onto our Google Calendar. Now, as you can see, our bookings has been directly synced onto the Google Calendar. Now let's see how does it look like on the front end for the Google Calendar. Go to Google Calendar, open Google Calendar. And here, as you can see, all the relevant bookings has been directly synced onto our Google Calendar.
By now, you have understood how to install and configure QloApps Google Calendar Sync module. If you still have any questions, feel free to contact us at support@webcool.com, or you can directly raise a ticket on webcool.uvidex.com. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the next one.